What's up, ladies and germs? How we doing? All right. What we got? Who we got? What we got? So far, we got nobody talking. What, just because I'm a little early? Where's everybody at? Talk to me, people. Don't make me go live on Instagram. Where, incidentally, I just hit 100K followers today. 100,000. Not 100, not 500, not 1,000, not 10,000. I just hit 100K. 6-digit followers today. What up, Bry? What's cracking? What is cracking? You know what, Bry? I'm gonna rent you. I'm not gonna say pause because I'm too old, but you know what I mean. Saying I'm gonna rent you seems a little foul, so I am going to rent you for being a dope watcher. Where's everybody today? What, Sunday? People don't want to come in? What's going on? There's 5 of you in here. Nobody's talking. Don't make me jump on Instagram. I'll do it. I don't want to do it because this actually makes a little bit of money. A little bit. Instagram doesn't really. Instagram pays. I got the last 28 days, I believe I've had almost 6 million views on Instagram, right? And I make almost nothing. It's crazy. If that would have been here on YouTube, forget about it. Would have been chilling. Where's everybody at? Damn. This shit is slow as a P. Diddy white party now? All white party? P. Diddy now? Like today, if he did one? Get it? Because he's a creep? I forget it. Not funny. What else we got? Who we got up in here? So far, all I see is Bry, who went radio silent. Mary is back. Probably because it's Sunday. Nah, I've done them on Sundays before. It's the day after a big fight, so you'd think it'd be popping. There we go. Tyler's up in this piece. What's up, Tyler? What's cracking? Upset City. Yo, I didn't call that. Like, you guys remember, I called that the opposite. I thought Anthony Joshua was going to harpoon money with his straight right. I thought he was going to make him a little British shish kebab. Just fucking stick that straight right through him. Like he's slow spinning him over a fire in Hawaii. But it didn't work that way. But here's the thing. Anthony Joshua, let's not lie, right? What's up, Clea? Anthony Joshua, all right, so let's not lie. Anthony Joshua didn't look good, right? Before he even threw a punch, hands were here, right by his like nipple area, head was back, and he was mad flinchy. This dude was flinching around. This dude was jittery like he smokes rocks. He was jittering around at Dubois' every move, like he just put down the glass pipe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Head up, chin back, head up, hands down. It looked like he was guarding his boobs. Oh. Chris Randolph, what's crack-a-lackin', my man? They didn't want Daniel Dynamite Dubois to take out the king. Well, who is they, is the question. Who's they? Who didn't want to take out the king? Because he done got taken out. So what are you talking about? Joshua always seemed to... Nah, not like that. Hell no. Hell no. Look at the way he looked against Otto Wallen. Look the way he looked against, Ngannou. Even against Usyk. Then you start thinking, Usyk beat both of these guys handily. Although I think Dubois could have gotten Usyk's ass. Dubois just quit against Usyk. After he hit him with that shot that should have been a legal knockdown, he quit. And he got dropped by a jab, and then Dubois quit. So that alone made me lose all faith in him, which is why I didn't think he could beat Joshua. Joshua versus Parker. Do we really want to see Joshua anymore? No. We want to see dudes like Bacoli, even Zhang, even Big Baby Miller put a decent showing for himself. Not against Joshua, not against Dubois. Dubois was whooping Big Baby. Dubois outwilled Big Baby Miller. Dubois versus Parker. Parker, I'm telling you something about Parker. No disrespect. He's probably a good dude. So boring. Parker doesn't have any excellent tool. Parker is upper middle class, straight true, right? Straight through upper middle class. But to be a world champion, you have to have some upper class, or you have to have some elite class tools. Parker doesn't have anything above upper middle speed, power, boxing skill, nothing. He's just white collar worker straight through. Bores me. And I don't, AJ versus Wilder is the fight to make now. Why do people keep saying that? So you want to see two dudes who just look like deers that stumbled onto I-95 and got flattened by a four-wheeler? You want to see those two dudes who are also, by the way, approaching 40, both of them, with their best years behind them. You want to see them fight each other? What about they just fucking quit? Retire. They're both world champions. They both made more money than they could probably know what to do with. What do you want to see that for? Both dudes who don't even throw punches anymore? If Wilder's launching that missile right hand, if he's detonating that missile like he's sitting in NASA in the control room ready like he used to, okay. This motherfucker looked like he padlocked the control room, threw on some Asics jogging shoes, and he just runs around. What, you want to see him fight a dude who yesterday barely threw any punches and was backing away, protecting his boob job? I mean, he looked like he was protecting his boob job. He had his hands right here, and he was rolling back. You want to see those two guys fight each other? For what? 5 years ago, okay. Now, why? I want to see Joshua versus Wilder. Yeah, well, that's what I just talked about, Sanchez. I don't want to see that. The dude who beat Baby versus Dubois. Dude who beat Baby versus Dubois. Dubois is the guy who beat Big Baby. Oh, you mean the dude who beat Jared Anderson. Who the hell beat Jared Anderson again? Bacoli. That's a good one. That I like. AJ's still a Hall of Fame. No. No. Hall of Fame. For what? Beating an old Klitschko who Fury already beat? That's what he's a Hall of Famer for? For the only reason I would even consider giving AJ any real credit, and this has nothing to do with skill, is that he erased Ngannou's goofy ass from boxing. And nothing against Ngannou, but the goofiness where MMA fighters think they could just waltz in with no professional boxing experience and compete at the highest level. Here, he eradicated that bullshit. So that I give AJ credit for, but that is not Hall of Fame credential resume insert. What's up, Jonathan? Run a poll and get back to me. If AJ is still a Hall of Famer, why would AJ be a Hall of Famer? Who'd he beat? Hey, look, I could be wrong. Who'd he beat? Who'd he beat? Exactly. Klitschko. Matter of fact, let's see. Anthony, I'll look at it right now, Joshua, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All right, here we go. Anthony Joshua. I will even screen share this shit with you, mother lovers. Screen share. All right. Boom. Here we go. We ready? All right. Here it goes. Anthony Joshua. Okay, we'll go from the bottom. Okay, let's go from the top. They're 28-4, 2 knockouts, losses. Okay, very high knockout percentage right there. That's impressive. All right, Daniel Dubois, loss. Francis Ngannou, first professional fight, 0-1. Okay, does not qualify, even though I love what he did, as I just said. Otto Wallin, impressive, but Otto Wallin has fought nobody of note except Fury, who he lost to. Robert Lanius, not impressive. Jermaine Franklin, unknown. Usyk, loss. Usyk, loss. Pulev, unknown. Ruiz, loss. Povetkin, okay, that's not bad, but Povetkin is a blown-up cruiserweight. Joseph Parker, that was not impressive at all up until he just beat Wilder, but then after Zhang beat Wilder, we saw. So he's going to the Hall of. This is the only one right here. But Klitschko was already in his 40s and lost to Fury. Dominic Breazeale, Charles Martin, Kevin Johnson. No, none of that is Hall of Fame. So you, my friend, are wiling the fuck out. Can't believe AJ got knocked down. So I know, man. The referee was helping him. I think you might be unfamiliar with the UK boxing scene. He beat some dogs. I'm familiar with boxing scene as a whole. My brother. He didn't beat nobody that's Hall of Fame. We're talking Hall of Fame, not dogs. Dubois always been underrated. You might have a point. You might have a point there, Eon. But why did he quit? Why did he take a knee from a jab from a natural cruiserweight in Usyk and then quit after basically having Usyk knocked out? Why did he do that? That's what made me and most of the world not think he had a chance. His heart is in question. Looked great against Big Baby. If you're saying AJ is a Hall of Famer, then by that logic, Deontay Wilder. No, disagree. Deontay Wilder should be a Hall of Famer because at his peak, he knocked out all 43 of his opponents. All of them. Knocked out everybody he ever faced. He was 42 knockouts out of 43 fights. The one knockout he didn't get was against Berman Stavern, who he rematched and knocked out. That's why Deontay Wilder should go to the Hall of Fame. He has that, which no heavyweight champion has ever been 43-0, all knockouts. Or 42-0, all. Nobody. That's why he should go to the Hall of Fame. So, Zhang steamrolls Dan. Zhang doesn't throw punches. Have you seen his last 2 fights? That motherfucker, he came in even heavier and not jacked, clearly with a little Beijing tie around his belly. Beijing tire. He's not disciplined. He doesn't throw punches. He gasses out, and he's also 41 years old. I don't think he beats him. He's a problem when he fights, but he's proven to us now that he's also another one. He's old. Real ones knew about Dubois was him. Okay. He beat 43 cans. Okay, let me tell you something. Can you knock out anybody? Point being, do you know how hard it is for anybody to knock out 43 people in a row? Doesn't matter if all of them are Uber drivers. Do you know how hard that is? You ever been in the ring? That shit is very difficult. It is props. I don't want to hear that. Just like I give props to Berlanga. You knock out 16 in a row in the first round, that's fucking props. Nobody's ever done that. So that argument does not hold up. It does not hold. Just because you can't fight doesn't mean you have a bad chin. If you said he beat 43 cans, okay, not that impressive. People pad their records all. But knocking out unskilled, bad, losing record fighters do not all have bad chins. The chin has nothing to do with that. Matter of fact, a lot of them have great chins. So that argument is 3-point shot right into the garbage can. Punk ass. Wilder has the most title defense of any heavyweight, right? I'm not sure. He might. Wouldn't be surprised. Nah, can't be the most title defenses. Klitschko and Klitschko and Joe Louis were both champs for almost 12, 13 years. Nah, definitely not. Klitschko, Joe Louis, and Larry Holmes were champions way longer than Wilder, so there's no way. Yeah, no way. I don't think. Finally, conspiracy channel. What? AJ should retire his heart. That's a fact. I really think you should run a poll asking if AJ, you'll be surprised. The problem with polls, I think I'll get an accurate response because I'm not in England, but you get a bunch of British, you know what I'm saying? You get a bunch of casuals. I would only do a poll. I mean, but my followers are pretty hardcore, so they would say no, Alberto. They would say no. They would say no. 42 KOs. Okay, well, I'm glad you have an open mind. It's unheard of. Nobody's done that. Not Mike Tyson, not Joe Louis, not Ali. Nobody, not Sonny Liston, Foreman. None of these power punchers did that. And don't forget this, and I forgot to mention this. Deontay Wilder not only did that, but that dude is a natural cruiserweight. He weighed up at 210 pounds. He was outweighed by 30 to 60 or 70 pounds in all of his heavyweight fights. He fought now in a time where heavyweights were way bigger than 210. That makes it even more impressive. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Boring, but, you know. Marco, I was shocked by the AJ fight. Yo, man, me too. Nobody thought that was going to happen. But the second the bell rang, he looked like I said, he looked like a deer stumbled onto the I-95 highway. And it was, and the four-wheelers, the minivans, the sports cars, all flattened him because the deer just froze. Did Dubois fight Wilder? No. Wilder has a prime Triple G kind of better than Triple G. I wish I could see Wilder in his natural weight class. He would have probably been even better. But he was never even really hurt. Well, he was hurt a little. I remember what's-his-face had him hurt. King Kong, Luis Ortiz had him hurt. I was at that fight live. Luis Ortiz almost had him out. What's good, Angry? AJ looked sluggish and paid the price. Sluggish? He looked scared. Apprehensive, scared, whatever word you want to use. Is Wilder in your top? No, come on. Hardest puncher who ever lived, possibly. Maybe number one there, but not the best heavyweight, no. But there's an argument for it, I guess, because he could have knocked out anybody. He's one of the few people, him and Tank are the two guys of recent memory where that saying, like, it just takes one, and then you have to be perfect for 12 rounds. These guys have to land one punch. They're the only two that because everybody else gets a little more tired, a little less dangerous as the fights go on. They did not. They do not. Saw your video. I only saw the 5th round. I didn't see the earlier rounds. Oh. Well, I wasn't unable to show a video of it because DAZN likes flagging me and getting me fucking copyright strikes. So I just do stills with them. Fucking punks. Yet they don't pay Ryan and Devin for months, if not even at all yet. But they go and they fucking come after me and try and take down my pages because I put videos of their fights well after the fact. Guys, please like the video, or 900 out of 1,000 Diddy Baby oil bottles will be used on you. Oh, man. Thanks, power generation is insane. Yeah? That's a fact. That's a fact. Queens in the house. I always thought Rob was an Italian white guy. I don't know why, but that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, man, that fight was... I didn't see any of the other fights. I don't think I really cared. But that was shocking. Marco, that was such a good counter, though. Yeah? It didn't even look like it landed that hard. The final punch that dropped him into looking like he failed to do breakdancing headstand. That didn't look that hard. I think he had already been just chopped down from the other shots. I mean, he fucking was whooping AJ's ass. But what do you expect from that kind of energy that AJ had? I give AJ props, though. He did throw. He landed. He hurt him. He was trying. But a little too little, too late. He should have tried throwing like that earlier. He was already chopped down. You know what I'm saying? His energy bar was down to maybe at that point about 40. So can Gerald Miller beat any top dogs? Nah. A fight that would have been great to see, prime for prime, Ike Ibuchi versus Deontay. Nah, Ike would have been too much for him, I think. Ike was very well-rounded. Ike was very 4, 5, 6 dimensional. But again, Deontay had that power where possible. I saw AJ passive with amateur moves and defense. Yeah. And not only looked like he didn't train, it looked like he got brainwashed and forgot how to box. Like it was his first. He looked like a dude who was sparring for the first time. Like, you know. Richard Torres looked good. I love Richard Torres as a person. I've interviewed him. He's cool. His nose is itchy, but I feel like he's too small. I think he's like 220. He's like 6'1". I'd like to see him fight a cruiserweight. I don't know if he can make that, but I feel like he's too small. These heavyweights are 6'6", 6'7". He's barely 6'1". Is this a sign of regression for AJ or just a bad night? Erosion, Eon. It's a sign of erosion. Recession, receding. He's receding. He's eroding. He's aging out. Mark, I forgot about Daniel Dubois fight. You forgot about it? What you mean? Does Fury win the rematch? I'm gonna wrench you up, Tyler, because you've been coming up in this bitch. Yes, I think Fury knocks him out, but I also thought that Fury would knock him out in the first fight. So I think if Fury comes in like he did on the Wilder rematch, Fury made the mistake against Wilder the first fight. Even though I thought he won that fight easy, I thought he only lost the 2 rounds that he got dropped in. He still made the mistake of dancing and not fighting like a big man with a 60, 70-pound weight advantage. Did the same thing with Usyk. Now, what happens if Fury gets heavy on that front foot, fucking digs it into the ground, and starts going forward and leans on him and puts his weight and roughs him up? What happens? 100K? Everybody doesn't know. I just hit 100K followers on Instagram today. Very happy about that. Humbled. It's dope. Is Fury still considered the best heavyweight of this era? We don't know yet. The jury's still out. We got to see what happens when they all fight each other. If Fury wipes Usyk out in the rematch, I'm telling you, we'll all be like, yeah, Fury. He was beating Usyk easy the first fight. He just got caught with one shot, and he was wobbly, and then it got close. He was whooping Usyk's ass for 7 rounds. Well, not really 7. First 2 were close. 3, 4, 5, 6. Whooping his ass for 4 rounds. Hurting him, everything. I think it's the end of old heavyweight boxing. All the big names are getting old. Yeah, but you got new ones coming in. Richard Torres will be the heavyweight champion. Okay. You're just on some Mexican shit, Alberto, because you're Mexican, right? Which is fine. No, Diddy. I was rooting for Dubois. Well, then you must have been a happy sucker. Because, as you saw, he won in dramatic fashion. Dramatic fashion. That was a dope fight. I mean, that in the first round, he just set the tone. Clipped his ass with a hard overhand right. And I wonder if Dubois hits that hard, or he couldn't knock out Big Baby. Big Baby got stopped, but he didn't get off his feet. I'm happy. Marco, you got to do 100K sub celebratory line. Short, snort. Short, I think you meant to say? What kind of, what? Give me an idea. Maybe I'll do it. Did Anderson get exposed, or did he climb back to the top? Oh, nah. I don't see, nah. Jared Anderson? Nah. He hits hard. They only went the distance once. Wilder and AJ are done like cooked food. I think you might be right. Who do you want to see next for Dubois? Bacoli, or really, winner of Usyk Fury. That's what we got to do. Undisputed again. What do you think about Sergio Martinez versus Gennady Golovkin? Like right now? What you mean? Who are your top 5 welters? I mean, Purnell, Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, um, Aaron Pryor. What are you doing to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month? Okay. 4 losses, Wilder versus AJ. Joseph Parker versus Zhang. Or Zhang. I don't know. Dubois aggression versus AJ is how Fury should fight Usyk. Yep. But he should do what he did in the second and third Wilder fight. That's what he should do. Lean on him, put his weight on him, fucking mush him in the face with a couple forearms. You know what I'm saying? Rough him up. Hit him, then hold him. Right now in their prime. What? Oh, not right now in their prime. Triple G. Why is Turkey only allowing the champions to walk out before the challengers? I don't know. Well, AJ was not champion. Dubois was champion. And Bud was not champion. The other guy was champion. So I don't remember who walked out first. Wilder and AJ should fight each other and then retire because they are both losers. Nah, I don't want to see them fight. I love that weight division. The changing of the belts is unpredictable and unmatched. Yep. AJ was mostly being offensive with his hands down. How is he being offensive? What do you think about Mike Tyson versus George Foreman? When? 88? Tyson. Actually, Tyson always. Foreman didn't have the volume of punches to beat Tyson. Or the speed to be able to catch Tyson repeatedly. Bacoli is dangerous. Congolese warrior needs more activity. Maybe versus White next. White and Chisora should cease, should halt their pugilistic careers forthwith. They've taken enough punishment. They're good careers. They should. Coley could get Dubois. Could. Coley's a little. I don't like. There's an undisciplined factor to dudes who are chubby. Right? I know some chubby guys could be effective, but there's an undisciplined factor to that, and I don't like it. You know, Zhang, for example. Even Tyson Fury sometimes. Tyson Fury, though, always is in pretty good shape. Dubois has a jab. Yeah, he does. Coley, but he was also, it was easy to hit Anthony because he had his hands down. He kept backing away. So he had no means to defend against or block that jab. So I want to see him how he fights against somebody who's a little better defensively. Bacoli versus Parker. Bacoli. I find Joseph Parker very boring. When's the next Border Wars? I think he said maybe in December. At no point is Tyson's career could he beat Foreman. I disagree with that. I think Tyson would have beat Foreman. I think it would be Foreman. Remember, Tyson is not Joe Frazier. Okay? Not. Similar style, but way different. Different enough. Yeah, Foreman would have taken Tyson's shots, though. So it would have been fun. That would have been a great fight, man. God, I wish I had a time machine. I don't even think I'd go back to Egypt or steal money. I think I would just bring these fighters back and have them fight each other. All of them in their primes. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Aaron Pryor. Great one. I got to go with Leonard. But Pryor was such a monster. But I got to go with Leonard. I don't think the only one who could beat Leonard maybe at welterweight, maybe Purnell or Floyd. And even that's a maybe. Being a referee must be the best gig in the world. You get paid. Do you know how little refs get paid, Alberto? I know a lot of refs personally. They all have jobs. All of them. Like jobs. Like full-time jobs. Bring back 15 round. Nah. I don't want to see dudes dying. Put $15 on Dubois, and I wish I put more. I have respect for AJ. Oh well, what can you do? It's a lifetime of betting, a lifetime watching boxing. Yeah, see, I don't bet on fights because I want to enjoy the fight. I don't want to be pissed if my dude who I bet for starts losing. I want to enjoy it, so I don't bet. Gives people CT. Yep. Tio versus Loma. Tio probably. Loma's too small. In American boxing, I see the same 5-6 judges. Yep. Mills Lane, the best, was a judge. Yep. But Mills Lane got really famous after the ear bite, so he was able to get his own court, like reality court show. He was able to make a living now off being a ref because there's a couple who do that, like Michael Buffer. No announcers just do boxing announcing for their life. They all have real jobs or other projects, but Michael Buffer, because Let's Get Ready to Rumble got so popular, he's the only one that was able to probably just do that and make a great living. He copywrote it, all that. So Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Like, forget about it. He's in commercials, not refs at club shows. I'm talking about the Thomas Taylors. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know refs. I know refs who did the biggest fights you could think of. Full-time jobs. Do you think, Alberta, do you think I'm like an idiot? I don't get it. You don't think I don't know? You don't think I think of these things? Tio already beat Loma. True. You know, Tio already best Loma. He wrote by mistake, but people use that. He bested him. People use that sometimes. Even though I know you probably meant to write beat, but I like when people say bested. Marco, what do you think about Dana White saying boxers are overpaid? He's getting into boxing, so he's probably trying to set a precedent, so he can underpay the fighters, just like he underpays his fighters in MMA. Michael Buffer charges Chargosic winner. How do you know? Loma a bit overrated to me. Maybe now, not when he was active and fucking snapping necks and cashing checks. Yep, the copyright, a big deal. All right, here's the best card. Two Davis bros, Vargas brothers, Tiafimo versus Keyshawn. Tio would kick Keyshawn's ass. It wouldn't even be competitive. I'm just saying. Keyshawn needs to season. He needs to marinate. He needs to marinate. Like, nice. Exactly, Ian. It somehow got leaked. He also announces the main event. No undercard fights. Damn. Abdullah versus... Nah, you guys got to chill. Abdullah's 19. Not ready yet. But soon. Shakur versus Tio. I don't know. Tio probably. I would go with Tio, but remember, Shakur has it in him to outrun anybody. So, like, if he was able to just stay away from Tank, hit him with some jabs, and win a boring fight, I wouldn't be surprised. We ready. Come out to Norfolk. 11-8. Keyshawn ready. And Tio knows it. But just, what are you talking about? The fuck's going on in Norfolk on November 8th? Who's fighting? Keyshawn's fighting? I think Mason's extremely underrated. Nah. I think he's rated exactly what he is. Abdullah needs to step it up already. Sky's the limit for him. No more taxi drivers in Mexico. Okay. You don't want to rush him, but he's almost there. He's the most talented of the prospects, in my opinion, Abdullah Mason, that I've seen. He's a guy that I'm like, okay, this guy looks like he could be 1 in a million. But again, that could change. Keyshawn versus Lemos, Brian Norman versus Abdullah. Man, you're getting into these new. You guys all know me, and I don't really fuck with these up and comers that much. Like I know who all those people are, but that doesn't really excite me. You guys remember, I have a radar. Not to be snobby, but you got to be upper middle to hit my radar. Abdullah is the best prospect in boxing. Yep, exactly. Some people think Carmel might be, or Keyshawn might be, or even more talented than Floyd's protege. Carmel? Yeah, I think he is. But Carmel's pretty fucking good. Medueno, I don't even know who the hell that is. Underrated in the sense that he's not ready for certain fighters. Yeah, he's not ready. That's not underrated. Abdullah or Emiliano Vargas. Abdullah. Dubois is not that good. He is just strong. Well, he whooped Joshua's ass. Abdullah will stop Emiliano. I think Abdullah beats any of the Vargas boys. I think the Vargas boys are just getting a lot of shine and being matched very well because who their father was. Not to say they won't excel and become great fighters, but for now, we don't know where their talent, where their potential really lies, because in calling them a dynasty, no disrespect to them, because I'm cool with the father, sort of. I'm cool with Junior, Fernando Jr., but dynasty? You're not a dynasty until all of you are world champions. Like there's generations of world champions. So that's a little premature. But it could happen. AJ could bounce back. He could. That's disrespectful. Fernando Vargas was get out of here. Ian, what are you, crazy? Fuck it. Crazy? Purnell all day long. And 4 times on a Sunday. They're all good for boxing. Vargas, yeah. Haney's slipping, though. No, he's not. He hasn't had a fight since. He got 1 loss. We don't know if he's slipping or not. Dynasty calls for legacy. Yep. Dynasty is a big word to use. Kind of annoys me. Like they're little people are blowing smoke up their ass because their pops is, who he was. And even their pops. And look, he was a way more accomplished, better fighter than I was, but I'm just saying their pops, he pretty much lost all his big fights. He won a couple, won a title, but he pretty much, so his pops is barely I don't know if Fernando was a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't make him a Hall of Famer if it was up to me. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. He's not. He's one of the best welterweights of his generation, top 10. And that was a crazy good generation. So that's pretty impressive. Welterweight, or he was actually 54, I think. But, Fernando beat Wink, but that was highly, highly controversial, Ian. But yeah, that's one of the few wins he had. Everybody else fucking slept him. Trinidad, De La Hoya. I think, didn't he beat Ike Corte, Fernando? That was pretty impressive. But Hall of Fame, I don't know. Arguable, though. Arguable. Purnell was the last to hold down Norfolk. Next is Keyshawn. We have no sports team. All right. But is that true? He lost his big fights. Almost. Beating Winky. I don't count the Winky one because it was close. He beat Mayorga, if I'm not mistaken, and he beat Ike Corte, I believe. Let's see. Let's see Fernando Vargas. All right, I'm going to share this with you guys. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see if Fernando Vargas should be a Hall of Famer. You guys tell me what you think. All right, here we go. Let's Keep going till we see a name we recognize. Okay. Raul Marquez, decent name. Win. Ronald Winky Wright, win, but again, controversial. Ike Corte, I was right. Okay, that's impressive. Felix loss. Wilfredo Vera, okay. Jose Flores, De La Hoya loss. Tony Marshall. Okay, none of these guys are known. Shane Mosley loss. Shane Mosley loss again. Ricardo Mayorga loss. So Ricardo Mayorga beat him. So you're telling me that he's a Hall of Famer from just beating Winky, who people argue, and Ike Corte. So really just Ike Corte? No. Nope. Then now, no. Not a Hall of Famer. No way. No way. Hell no. Winky underrated? Yes, very much. Fernando was 21. Yeah, he was young. I agree with that, Alberto. He was. It was rushed, but still. You should use Martial Bot instead of BoxRec. It's way better. Martial Bot? Like martial arts? Why is it better? I never even heard of it, but I'll check it. Pernell, most robbed fighter. We support Keyshawn, win or lose. Most robbed. Pernell was only robbed three times. Yeah, that's kind of a lot. That's kind of a lot. They rushed him into fights. His biggest was, yeah, I agree. Fernando was a beast, but the Suns got nothing on Davis Bros. Marco, I got to meet Benavidez in Miami with his fan meetup. Oh, word? He was cool? I mean, he's cool. I know him. He's cool. I can't imagine he wasn't cool with you. Fernando was also U.S. Olympian. Yeah, true. True? No, good fighter, but not a Hall of Famer. I don't put him in the Hall of Fame from just beating Ike Corte. That's really all he beat. I mean, Mayorga beat him? Ricardo Mayorga beat him? I forgot that. That's unacceptable. That's the only person Ricardo Mayorga beat. Well, Vernon Forrest and him. Of the great welters of that era. Manuel Augustus was the most robbed, I think. Maybe. He was losing, though. He was just mad flashy. But he was losing. Manuel Augustus was losing. He was losing those fights. He just was very entertaining to watch. Is Vargas in the Hall of Very Good? Huh? What you mean? What you talking about? I haven't used any of my sound clips today. So I will do the first one for my man Eon.
What you talking about, Willis?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Compare Vargas to Canelo. Vargas was way more. Wait, what? Sebastian, you drunk? You drinking? Are you puffing on that glass pipe? You puffing on that glass pipe?
I smoke rocks. I smoke rocks. I smoke rocks.
Vargas is better than Canelo. That must be some good shit. That must be laced with dust, battery acid, and whiteout. Nah, don't do that. Canelo more complicated. Of course, I think he's drunk. Benavidez gave me some pointers on how to punch, but oh, cool. That's dope. You never heard of that? It's when they're not good enough to be a Hall of Famer, but very good. Nah, I never heard of that. What'd you say? In the Hall of Very Good. Nah, that's funny. What's up, Bob? Bob. Do you think any of the fighters besides Roy Jones from the past would be good president? Yeah, of course. A lot of them. Just saying some shit like that. He's smoking some. That's a good shit. I would have to respectfully disagree. I believe Canelo gets too much respect. That's okay. Hey, man, we all have our opinions. Yours just happens to be tied with heavy alcohol and drug abuse, but that's fine. Vargas was way more talented. These are facts. Vargas was more talented than Canelo. These are facts. If your definition of talented is he loses way more, If your definition of talented is he gets beat by way more dudes, okay. Canelo was not that talented. His career was managed. Okay. Well, if you don't drink, Sebastian, you should start because maybe it'll loosen you up because you were saying some wild shit right now. Just because Canelo lost to Bivol, Canelo held his own versus Bivol at 75. Bivol happens to be Mexican, so yeah. Maybe we'll see Joshua versus Wilder. Bob, you're like the fourth person to say that in this live. Please stop. You want to see two dudes who fight like they're deers caught in headlights now and don't throw punches anymore? You want to see those two guys fight whose chins have been pounded out like a Hunts Point hooker? You want to see those two dudes fight so they could just further. You want to watch their CTE slowly ooze into them? Come on. Yeah, Wilder's definitely done. What up, Gnarly Ray? Gnarly Ray. Sebastian might have a point. All right, Alberto, you be saying some wild shit too. Fernando had it tough. He was homeless. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I agree with that. He did have it tough, but Canelo got to where he is by fighting champions on the downside. Look, if you want to criticize any fighter's resume, you could do it. I've heard people say that about Floyd. I mean, you could do that, but that's silly. Canelo has the best resume in boxing right now. Damn. I watch them because fight all the AJ Wilder. Appreciate boxing. Do you think it's the most dead division right now, in my opinion? Yeah. Actually, welterweight's pretty dead too now that everybody left. Sugar Shane. Yeah, you're wilding out. Speaking of Sugar Shane, everybody watching, I will be in Philly this Saturday commentating Shane Mosley's exhibition, his return to the ring, his exhibition in Philly this Saturday night. It will be on Fight TV live pay-per-view. It will be streamed by Dame Dash, Rockefeller, partner with Jay-Z, founder Dame Dash. He has a network called America New. It will be streamed in partnership with Fight TV on live pay-per-view. The main event, it's celebrity boxing. The main event is Shane Mosley fighting some dude I've never heard of, but who's a influencer. In an exhibition boxing match, I will be commentating and going and doing the ring interviews. So peep that this Saturday. But he won't fight David. Wait, he was fighting Fernando. I've missed what he said. My bad. Wait. Yes, he said Fernando. No, he said Fernando is more talented than Canelo. And then he said those are facts. Where am I from? New York City. NYC. Hell's Kitchen, baby. Where are you from? And why are you asking? Congrats on what? The 100K? That's big time? Is that what you're talking about? That's weird to say that now, but that's what you're talking about. Thank you. I don't know. What made you say it just now? You got to be... Oh, for what I got you. For the commentating. Yeah. You're going to be suited and noted? I don't know what that means. Well, I never heard of the dude. He's some influencer guy. Canelo should have slept Berlanga. Not really, because Canelo is naturally a middleweight, and Berlanga is naturally probably a cruiserweight. So if it wasn't for that weight discrepancy, he would have. Turkey. Well, my family's from Bulgaria, which borders Turkey, so. Never mind. Canelo above Fernando. Common sense. Thank you. Yeah, if you live in Philly, you need a good job to beat Canelo. Oh, good jab to beat Canelo. I think, yeah, I mean, I guess. How much is pay-per-view? I got 10 on it. I don't know how much it is, man. Go check it. Canelo has a horrible work rate. Oh, my goodness. Nah, Berlanga's naturally a much bigger guy. Not surprised Canelo is in pressing action, getting reckless to open. Yeah, exactly. Canelo still dropped him, but that was more of like a surprise. That was a shot that Berlanga didn't see coming. But when you have such a weight advantage, when you're so much bigger than somebody, if you just brace, tense up your neck muscles and everything, you probably won't get hurt. When somebody so much smaller is hitting you, it's the ones you don't see that might get you. So there it is. Whoop, there it is. Mayweather crucified Canelo with his jab. Yeah, Mayweather fucked Canelo up. It wasn't his jab. It wasn't his jab that did it. It was his entire. It was a whole. It was multifaceted layers. It was like tiramisu cake layers Mayweather used to dismantle him. Canelo's just in control. If you know boxing, it's about control. I don't know the link. Go to celebrityboxing.com. Let's see. I'll show you a celebrity boxing. Here it is. Celebrity boxing. Here's a website. Here's the. Oh, here it is. Tickets are RSVP. All right. Here it is. This is the actual event in the chat. Marco, you think if Canelo and Floyd fight again, Canelo knows all the stuff he knows. Canelo's too big. He's too big. They would never fight again. You mean if he fought later with all of... Nah, Floyd still beat him. Yeah, there's the celebrity boxing thing right there. Okay. Cinnamon. What we got? It's why we want to see Bud versus Canelo. I mean, I want to see it, but I don't want to see it. It's win for both Bud and Canelo. Not really. No. That's a lose-lose for Canelo. Which is why, mark my words, he will not take that fight. He will not take that fight. Dame Dash is the referee. I'm out. He won't. Nah, Dame Dash used to fight, Alberto. Dame Dash had amateur fights. You're wrong. He's going to also commentate with me, I believe. Prime Mosley versus Prime Floyd. I think Floyd still. But that would have been fun. I think I still got Floyd. Mark, are you going to be... Yes, I'm doing commentary and I'm doing ring interviews. Like I'm going to interview the loser and the winner after the fight. Jump up in the ring and do that. Not Canelo gets all the respect if he wins or loses versus Bud because it will be naturally... He's not fighting Bud. The same reason Javante is not going to fight Inoue. You fight smaller dudes, you risk being criticized and gaining nothing for beating somebody smaller than you, or you risk gaining tons of criticism and a huge dip in popularity and financial stability when a smaller guy beats you. And Canelo can make more money fighting Chris Eubank than he could make fighting Bud. Contrary to popular, Bud is the greatest fighter in the world, but he does not draw as well as a lot of these other guys. So that's why he's not doing it. Mosley KOs Floyd so easy. All right. Sebastian is suffering a stroke as we speak. Call 911, send it to his crib. Hopefully he'll stop consuming all that salt and working out when it's really hot out, and his strokes will subside. He's clearly stroking out right now. I miss HBO. Bud is undisputed. Javante will fight Lamont. Yeah, it looks that way. Don King has perfect fights. I don't even know much about Lamont Roach, so they're on their way out. And Eubank is also Bomac trained. And from 160, they're on their way out. Bud is a better fighter than Eubank and represents Bom. Oh, of course. But it's about who makes more money and who's less risky. When I mean risky, I don't even mean to lose. I mean to affect reputation and to affect marketability. Bud is way riskier to affect Canelo's reputation, legacy, and marketability. So Eubank, on the other hand, perfect. Huge global attraction in Europe. Not risky in terms of, I don't think gives Canelo much of a chance to beat him, but is a fun fighter because he bangs out. It'll be fun to watch. Perfect. I would fight fucking Eubank if I was Canelo, but Bud got the support of Turkey Al Sheikh and Warren Buffett from Omaha. It's win business. Canelo doesn't give a shit about big paydays if it's going to hurt his legacy. He's not Floyd. He's not hemorrhaging money because he gambles and lives a ridiculous lifestyle. And has tax debt and all that shit, or used to. Most people with that much money, or their lifestyle does not get affected one bit if they get an extra 100 million when you're making that much money as Canelo does. Do you understand? So for most people, I wouldn't say all, it's not about the money. At that point, when you're already, when the papes is stacked high. It has been a good year for Eddie Hearn. His own boxers, they have all their, yep. Well, it wasn't good for Eddie Hearn yesterday. So you're saying Canelo's scared of risking his legacy, losing to Bud? Not losing, but affecting. Yeah, definitely. And not even losing, even fighting Bud, it hurts his legacy. See, that's why it's a lose-lose. Even beating his ass, people are like, you're here. Benavidez is floating around. You got Chris Eubank. You got all these guys your own weight. Bivol rematch, and you're going to go with some dude who's 3 weight classes lower than you? You get what I'm saying now? It affects his legacy. That's why it's called a lose-lose. Canelo has made $500 million and he invests into company. Yeah, exactly. Crawford always made his legacy. I just think he wants big money. No, Crawford did not really. He made a legacy, but he needs another name. Crawford is not going to be an all-time great with just beating Errol Spence. He didn't beat anybody else who can also be considered an all-time great or even a Hall of Famer. No, he beat some Hall of Famers. But he didn't beat anybody else who is all-time great candidate. And Errol, up until that point, was. He beat everybody. So to me, he needs more to be considered as one of the best ever. Crawford. Wins over Porter, who's my man. I love Porter, but Porter and Kell Brook, Amir Khan, and those are all great fights. But to be possibly the best ever, you need to have beaten a few more. Definitely he's going to be one of the best ever. But the best ever, he needs more, in my opinion. Yeah, I know. And by the way, Sean Porter was whooping his ass until he wasn't. Boots is rematch. He should, because that Russian guy got up in his ass like a colonoscopy. He got up in his ass like anal warts. He got up in his ass like a something. You're really discounting Kenny Porter. What do you mean? Oh, Sean Porter. Nah, I love Sean Porter. He'd be bigger George Foreman. Well, yeah. Marco, you just going to disrespect Sean. What'd I do? Sean Porter is not an all-time great. He's a generational great. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's not an all-time great. I want to see Bud beat another all-time great before you could consider him to be an all-time great. That's all. All the all-time greats. They've beat numerous other all-time greats. But we'll see. It's hard right now because his career's still going. We'll talk about this when Bud retires. Then we'll have this conversation, and we have all of the data, everything, all the cards laid out, and we can go over it equally, fairly, and thoroughly. Anyway, all right, peeps, I'm going to bounce. I will catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.